Hey guys, what is up? NYKia31 here, Madden 21. This is part 3 installment of the quarters portion of my coverage series 1. We move on to other things, and we're going to go over compressed sets, split close, shotgun tight, and bunch. And I'll touch on empty really quick. Empty is not that, it's pretty straightforward. But anyway, the compressed sets like split close, shotgun tight, and bunch are the most problematic when it comes to bugs. You know, how the coverage should work, what doesn't work, and all that good stuff. So anyway, we're going to start out with HB wheel out of split close and start out in cover quarters. And we'll also show palms as well, and we'll also back up. Alrighty, so quarters coverage and palms versus compressed sets like this. Best way to think about this is just simply think about a compressed set like this as a 3x1 formation. So the weak side, you have a solo side wide receiver, the back here, and on the strong side, essentially a 3 receiver side. You have Jamison Crowder here as number 1. Trips. Versus trips, the quarters check is solo, meaning that the corner on the solo receiver side has the number 1 receiver man-to-man. Would mean, as a result, the quarter flat here is responsible for number 2 weak. In this case, that's the back. So he has the back coming out of the backfield man-to-man since he occupied. Weak side safety. He's going to exhibit some of the same flaws that we saw against trips, where he's a much too passive player. Weak side safety, can play middle of the field, he can rob, he can do a whole bunch of things, and he's a good option to use. And on the strong side is where things change. On the strong side, against compression sets like this, quarters checks to box. Now, why do teams play box against compression? Well, what do teams like to run out of compression? They like to run a lot of rub routes, a lot of sideline floods, a lot of crossers, cross up defenders and get them, climbing over each other in order to reach the receivers into the cover and create space. And it creates space as a result because, you got a lot of traffic there. Now, the way box works to alleviate that for gentlemen here. The outside corner will take the first outward breaking route that's coming vertical. Quarter flat takes the second outward breaking route. So first out, second out, quarter flat takes first underneath, and the safety takes first vertical. This guy here to create a bunch set for the safety would play the point man and the bunch vertical. And this so that's the box check out of quarters and palms. So a play like this, like HB wheel, it's pretty straightforward. You should see Turbin being man-matched and the quarter flat taking the wheeler. And on the trip side, you'll have the quarter flat doing his thing, accounting for the underneath flat route, the corner climbing to find the first outward breaking route. That's breaking vertical, and Crowder is running one of those routes based off of where he's lined up. It's kind of in between, so we'll see what happens here with the on that side. Plays out pretty well. Routes are distributed properly. Post route is matched, and again, we don't like the weak side safety. The weak side safety could... I'd like to see him play middle of the field rotation. Just to have him do something. He's just too static. Instead, he just lets him cross. And the corner has to trail him man to man, and it just becomes a matchup game at that point. Because he's not going to have any other help, because, again, you have... Well, we'll get to the backside or the strong side in a minute, but the quarter flat here. Once the back goes out of the backfield, he has him man to man. Whether he runs a wheel, an angle route, whatever. Receiver side. He has to provide a little bit of a bracket here for the crosser. Quarter flat. So the underneath table route. The corner is looking for the first outward breaking vertical route. Safety is looking for vertical as well coming at him. Once this route declares that he's breaking to the sideline, this is where the corner has him. Good leverage maintained there. And the safety takes this vertical route. And you got a good wall here. The 3-rec goes back to the middle of the field. That's really well done. So it becomes a, man coverage versus route running contest. Now let's see if it remains consistent. See the problem that safety so passive create. He does a pretty good job. Rashad Perryman is significantly faster than him. He's right there on his hip. The ball just gets led a little bit too far ahead of him. If this guy was a little bit more active, he could provide some help on that. Being so weak. Pushed out, and he matches him vertically as well. Huh, that's interesting. That time he didn't match as far as the safety goes. Why? Break his route off prior to 10 yards. He got kind of bumped there a little bit. It's the 30. Kept on going because, again, he's going to drop him off. Help. Consistency game, consistency. And stuff like that will happen. I mean, the 3-rec does a good job of carrying him over. Where are you? But why are you, as far as picking up? That is the question. Because what will happen if that's not consistent, the 3-Rex is going to eventually pass him off. He's not going to rob him all the way across the field. Right at the block, so you should... Yeah, because that's a problem you're going to have if that's not going to be consistent. You have a solo check, and you run a underneath route, all of a sudden there's acres of space. Do this at a flip of a coin creates a problem because now there's no support for him at all. There's lots of space. So that's got to be consistent. It can't be right for some reps and wrong for others. You got to be able to rely on it. All right, that looked all right. I don't like the corner kind of going into a drifty world. So I might be able to hit that corner out there. He did a pretty good job of closing on it. Wasn't terrible. Crowder on it. Yeah, it's just that's the problem with drifting corners at times. What happens here? Again, bunch should be a bunch set like this should not be treated any different. This time you have two unders. They're both going vertical. Safety's fine. He actually does a good job of carrying him way out before coming down. The corner is out of phase. It does not find his outward breaking route and it hit that. That's not good. Play. Really change. What's interesting is that the safety in palms is a little bit more active. Safety in palms is a lot more active there. You still have him being inconsistent. It's an admirable job of carrying him as far as he can. That's correct. But look at this, the safety here. His technique isn't the greatest because he lets him cross his face, but he turns and still runs with him, as opposed to in quarters, drifted into oblivion. Now, what do we know about palms? As a check, when you have a reduced split, palms checks to cut if number 1 runs underneath. If number 1 runs underneath, the weak side safety cuts down and the corner drops to take his place. And on the strong side, everything else remains the same. Cut down. The free wreck. Wonderful job of robbing the crosser. Takes the back wheeling out. Again, he has to replace that vacating. Corner remains in phase here. You can make up your mind what you want to do with the safety. He should matching vertical if he's threatened vertical. He goes. I think what's happening is that because he's beginning his route behind the line of scrimmage, he's not recognizing him. He breaks underneath. And a really good job here, though. Don't complain about that at all. Like if I sent Crowder you see he takes him just fine. Block. And here's where you'll see the problem with that safety or that corner rather, drifting so wide. He's in no position to break on that throw if he's not dropping deep. Again, he has to replace the safety. Gonna cut. He's got to do this route to it. There's also this traffic here, obviously. Quarter flat is walling off before he comes down, so he has to get over there, over this traffic. So it's one-on-one here, but you see the problem here with him being so wide out here? Instead of dropping deep to replace a safety more. All it takes is just an inside pass lead, and there's no one there. You'll see this as well with drag trail. You see I have both receivers open. So, you know, you got several problems here. It's a circuitous route to cut the drag. This is correct here, as he has to there's no first out for him, so he's just kind of drifting along. He takes the first route threatening him vertically, and there's no to account for him as well. Needs to rob the crosser and do a much better job of getting down there. I'm not in love with the cut check being in the game. Really, all you need is just the base call and one check. I think base call, quarters, and palms, along with solo and special, is enough for a video. I think anything else is too much for it. Yep, that's another problem. So yeah, cut check causes issues. I think they should take the cut check out of the game and just have special and solo. Since he's not going to replace the safety, you just run this guy right to where he should be. He's all the way just popping a squat. Where is he? He's all the way over here. There's nothing he can do. He's useless for this play. Where if he was rotating when the safety comes down, if he rotates to where he was, you can cut that off. But no one's there. Now back to quarters on this X-drag trail play. This is where you see the problem with the weak side safety being so bad. Again, solo check. The weak side safety, just watching the guy cross his face. Did a good job of that rep. He got beat pretty badly on the previous. You see the same issue with the passive weak side safety. And with the back, that's a matchup affair. I mean, a linebacker's not going to keep. Again, the safety watches him cross. Wide receiver corners. Stock plays handled pretty well. See, Herndon is running that vertical at the safety. Isn't matching the vertical route by Crowder from that spot. Here the safety just is on it and recognizes it and takes it. The corner, the first out, and he takes second out. He comes out on the delay route. Yeah, and to do it right. You see the safety is on that route. Got some issues here. Just by the alignment, this is not looking prominent. Route by Herndon should be matched by the safety, and the corner should have Hogan vertical. This should be pretty straightforward, and Perriman should be running into a couple of defenders. But the problem here, you see, the technique on the corner is just terrible. Right away. Right away. I mean, there's no shot. Not only does he get off the line instantaneously, the corner just plays abysmal technique. Free release off the line. Quarter flat does not get a hand on him. This is fine here as far as him being matched. You know, like I said, I predicted that he'd run into double teams, and he did, thankfully. So that's correct. But this is just horrible. I mean, you got to be able to align right and then play proper technique in your alignment, there's just no shot of being able to cover this route. None at all. If you press them, if that... Alright, better. Allows a clean release and still displays not the best technique, but it's at least closer in a contested throw. So that helps, but off coverage alignment is just horrible. And that was just stock. I didn't make any changes at all, so that can be a circus in a hurry. See if Palms has the same issue. Yep, same thing. That's a consistent problem. Clint, A-Dub, get that fixed. Right on one side, wrong on the other. Because that corner route is a witch for the safety. On the other side, it's better. But not great either, because the corner is too wide. And the quarter flat gets out leveraged pretty quickly. So that's pretty bad across the board. Audible to Palms. Again, box from the strong side. You know, that time you can trap the, whatchamacallit, the flat route. So we're okay as far as that is concerned, but in quarters he should not be coming down on that. So that's a problem. Swap. Bench swap is right. So how come they play bench wrong but bench swap is correct? A mess here is the box side. Number one goes vertical, so corner goes vertical with him. Number two takes the flat, so this is fine, this is right. Playing box here on this side. If you're trying to find a point man, well, I think what happens here, a little bit better. I'm going to try to hit it underneath. He allows this guy to cross his face. Leaves him wide open because the safety realizes that this guy is running under. He realizes that the tight end here is running under. So he has to reverse field. And that leaves tight end wide open because it lets him cross. Did a low pass there. It's just bad technique, but we want to get really mental. Let's go to Palms. And again, fork concept now. We know that safety is going to be cutting, and we know that corner is not going to be replacing him, and that's a problem. Okay, quarters against bunch. We're going to be going up against Pat's post. This is quarters, so again, solo check on that solo side receiver. He's man coverage. Box check on the bunch side. So what we see here is that Herndon should be played by the quarter flat. Crowder should be played man to man by the safety there, playing point man vertical against Crowder, and Hogan is picked up by the corner. Everything was good there except for the dang weak side safety. And then it becomes, a matchup affair. Is my guy better than yours? We'll check. And plays out right, except for the weak side safety. The weak side safety could be in a position to rotate there. And, the corner's doing a pretty good job of keeping pace with that post route. That post route's a pretty good man beater, and he's doing a good job on it. Again, it's a matchup affair. Out of palms, you don't have a reduced set here. Have the problem with the safety that's not rotating. What happens here is that they spot drop. What happens there is that once they motion out that receiver, the game checks out of the box check. So now the game treats this as a normal trips formation. You still have solo being played here to the weak side, but on the trip side you have spot drop. It should be man on deep for the corner here. The alert for number 3 vertical, or number 2 vertical rather. Drag him. Solo being played out there between those two receivers. Yep, that's what's happening. Weak safety doing nothing. If the trips check was correct, that safety there would be there to take number 3. So we'll check man to man. He takes 2 weak here. Be man on deep, just drifting. This is fine here. Your job is number 3 vertical. It's got to be delivered to you by the 3 rec. Too shallow. Again, he opens up to the strong side and it crosses his face. Completion right in front of your face. Now palms. Trips check is proper. Again, we know about the weak side safety, but the trips check is proper in palms. Yep, they play it right. They play it right. Just be more active on the backside. So play palms versus bunch. That's what I'm saying. Playing man. And really got to be eyes on the quarterback here. And here you can... This route. The safety. It's a good job here on this post route. Pat Sale. This is quarters. What's tricky about this here is that corner route, that's actually a good route design. I don't mind it being beat off a good route design as opposed to drift madness. Because again, the corner is looking for... Where are you? On the side. The corner is looking for, you know, first out. The route stems inside. The safety has the point man in the bunch. Get inside of him, which isn't, you know, pass lead that over him. If anything happened to this guy getting borked out. They both go with him though, and that leaves this guy open on his corner route. The 3-right did a really good job of hanging in there though. Can't fault him for that. He gave it the old college try. That's just a good route design. That's a great route. Alright, so that's pretty much that. We've gone over everything in 3 videos regarding quarters that I can think of. Pretty much, I think we covered all bases. I'm not going to go over empty. Empty is really simple. What you got to remember with empty is that if you play quarters versus empty, you'll play match on the weak side, they'll spot drop on the trip side. If you play palms, they'll run their match rules on the weak side and the strong side. The strong side will be the special check. The weak side will be straight, you know, 2-read palms. And in general, what we've seen is that palms is more stable versus trips as far as match rules are concerned. There are some issues with the cut check, where when the safety comes down to cut the underneath, the corner does not replace him well, and that leads to 1-play touchdowns. And there are, you know, other scenarios where the weak side safety will cause issues being passive, which leads to bombs, which is why I say that using the weak side safety is not a bad way to go when you're playing a healthy dose of match quarters. And what I'll also do is that I'll also show games where I'm playing defense and go over what I'm doing and adjustments that I make. And I also use the other coverages, which we'll go over in the future videos. So we're going to put a bow on that for now. The bugs that we saw as far as the coverage and transitions and all of that is stuff that I've mentioned before and the devs do know about. We do know that updates are coming. There's going to be an update around the 10th, and then we also have the 30-day update. So as things change, we'll review things and see what's what. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to y'all later. Peace.